Warriors Don't Cry, the Epilogue, Little Rock Warriors 30 years later. The Little Rock Nine come together for the first time since '57. Arkansas Gazette, Friday, October 23rd, 1987. The stone steps are slippery with morning drizzle as we begin the tedious climb up the front door of Central High School. It is the first time in 30 years that we 9 black alumni have entered the school together. On this day in Arkansas, Governor Billy Clinton, who is in less than 6 years will be President of the United States, greets us warmly with a welcoming smile as he extends his hand. We are honored guests, celebrating both our reunion and 30 years of progress in Little Rock's race relations. Cameras flash, reporters shout questions, dignitaries lavish enthusiastic praise on us, and fans ask for our autographs. And yet, all this pomp and circumstance, with the presence of my 8 colleagues, does not numb the pain I feel at entering Central High School, a building I remember only as a hellish torture chamber. I pause to look up at this massive school, 2 blocks square and 7 stories high, a place that was meant to nourish us and prepare us for the adulthood. But because we dared to challenge the Southern tradition of segregation, this school became, instead, a furnace that consumed our youth and forged us into reluctant warriors. On this occasion, we 9 ascend the stairs amid a group of reporters and dignitaries gathered here for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People convention. "How does it feel to be in Little Rock again?" a reporter shouts. "Weird," I replied. We 9 had come from our homes around the world. Gloria, a magazine publisher, is a citizen of the Netherlands. Minnie Jean, a Canadian citizen, is a writer and raises her 6 children on a farm. Shearson Lehman Hutton, vice president, Ernie, comes from New York. Thelma has come from her Illinois teaching duties, and Dr. Terry Roberts comes from his UCLA professor post. Carlotta is a Denver realtor, and Jeff is a Defense Department accountant from California. Only Elizabeth stayed on in Little Rock, where she is a social worker. It is significant that almost all of us chose not to remain in Little Rock, but sought lives elsewhere. All of us bring children. Some are adults now, like my daughter Kelly. Others are toddlers or the same age as we were when we attended Central. Our relationships with one another and the joy of our camaraderie have not changed. For me, our reunion has been a rediscovery of a part of myself that was lost, a part that I had longed to be in touch with. I have missed these 8 people who, by virtue of fate's hands, are most dear to me. Since our arrival in Little Rock, we have laughed and cried together and talked nonstop. We have both relished and dreaded this moment when we would again walk up these stairs. Today, if I let the memories flood in and listen closely, on these same stone steps, I can hear the click-clack of leather boots, boots worn by soldiers of the 101st Airborne, dispatched to escort us past the raging mob. I hear the raspy voices of their leaders commanding, "Forward march," as we first walked through these front doors on September 25th, 1957. "What was it like to attend Central?" asked one reporter. "I got up every morning, polished my saddle shoes, and went off to war," I replied. "It was like being a soldier on a battlefield." "It was a teenager's worst nightmare," someone else shouts. "What's worse than to be rejected by all your classmates and teachers?" "How does the city look to you now?" I answered the question to myself, very different from when I lived here. Today I could not find any way around its newly built freeways, its thriving industrial complexes, its racially mixed upscale suburban sprawl. It is a town that now boasts a black woman mayor. My brother Conrad is the first and only black captain of the Arkansas State Troopers, the same troopers that held me at bay as a teenager when I tried to enter Central. We reached the crest of the first bank of stairs, turned right at the landing, and began mounting the next set of steps, when we hear more shouting from reporters. "Stop! Look this way, please. Can you wave?" "Where is Governor Faubus?" I wonder. Where is the man who dispatched armed soldiers to keep 9 children out of school, who bet his life and his career that he could halt immigration? "Faubus is quoted on the news wires today saying if he had to do it over again, he'd do the same thing. What do you think about that?" a reporter asked. "If we had to do it again, we'd do the same," Terry quips. "Why isn't Faubus here?" someone asks. "Because he wasn't invited," a reporter replies. "At least that's what he says." He retired to some small town in Arkansas. All at once, I realize the questions have suddenly stopped. I am surrounded by an anxious silence, like the hush of an audience as the curtain is about to rise. The main entrance of the school is now clearly in sight. I feel a familiar twinge. A cold fist clamps about my stomach and twists it into a wrenching knot. And just at that instant, it is October of 1957, and I am a helpless, frightened 15-year-old, terrified of what awaits me behind those doors. What will they do to me today? Will I make it to my homeroom? Who will be the first to slap me, to kick me in the shin, or to call me in? Suddenly, one of the huge front doors swings open. A black teenager, impeccably dressed in a morning coat and bow tie, emerges. He is slight, perhaps 5 feet 6 inches tall, with closely cropped hair, wearing wire-rimmed spectacles. He bows slightly as we approach. Good morning. I am Derek Noble, president of the student body. Welcome to Central High School.